One, and we are live. Welcome to the iRacing Short Course podcast number 1. Tonight in the booth with us, our main interviewee is going to be Roland Johns, but our co-hosts will be Zachary Drapkin and Connor Berry. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Good.
Yep, I'm doing great.
Good. So just to kind of get the conversation started off, let's get a little bit of background from you, Roland. I just asked you a couple questions about your PC and stuff like that. You said that, you mainly do iRacing. When did you start iRacing? When was this a thing for you?
I started in November of 2016.
Okay, so pretty recently in the sense, 4
Yeah.
years.
No, pretty recent.
Uh-oh, we got a little background noise there. Who was that?
I think it was Connor.
Way to go, Connor. Yeah, so then you've been with it through, I guess, did you start off maybe doing oval or road, or were you just trying to maybe just stay with dirt?
I started with oval. When I started, there was no dirt racing at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I ended up starting, went through like rookie street stocks like everybody did. We do oval. Then try to make way up to like NASCAR trucks. And then by 2018, I was part of the eNASCAR Ignite series, and which was a series for 13 to 16-year-olds for a NASCAR scholarship.
Yeah.
If anybody doesn't know what that is.
Yeah, no,
and,
I know what that is.
Yeah. Yeah, and I ended up finishing about 32nd or so. I made the playoffs.
Awesome.
In the series. And next series I ended up doing after that was the official NASCAR Truck Series, where I ended up finishing, I believe, 9th overall. And that season, out of over like 10,000 people. And so that was one of my best seasons on iRacing ever. It was at the end of 2018, early 2019. And then after that, short course trucks came out last year, and I got into that and had so much fun running that. Ran Pro 2 in the official series, finished 3rd overall with over 15 wins. And it was a real good showing. And now I'm doing the iRacing short course series, of course, and been having a lot of fun in that, trying to learn the Pro 4 and get better.
So you've been around the block and definitely competed quite a bit. When it comes to competing in iRacing, do you find it, I guess, the competition level more enjoyable in the leagues or within the official races?
I think it's a lot of fun in the leagues because you get to know everybody. You get to know who you're racing against. On the official, you don't always know who you're racing against. You get like new people all the time. It's not always going to be the same people. But competition is definitely very high in the official races at some of like the top splits and like NASCAR. It's like very intense.
Yeah, I can imagine. With the top splits in NASCAR, how, I guess the best question is, how much time were you putting in for practice and really trying to, perfect your craft?
It's probably putting in maybe like 5 hours or so a week when it came to like the trucks. When I did that, I do 3 races a week usually, and put in probably about an hour of practice for each. Then with racing, it's probably add up to like 5 or 6 hours or so.
Oh, wow. So definitely quite a bit of time if you, add in school and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I kicked off the conversation. Zach, I believe you have some stuff you want to talk to him about, so I'm going to go ahead and bow out, and it's all you, man.
Thank you, Randall.
All right, thanks, Randall.
No problem.
So, Roland, I do have some questions. We already went over when did you start iRacing. Moose did a great job with starting that up. So we're going to start off with our Challenge Cup. When you did take home 3rd place, you held me off on the last lap. I'm going to give you big props for that. You were the only Pro 2 in the top 5. You were able to hold everybody off. Awesome run on that.
I know, yeah. That was a whole lot of fun. Definitely probably my best race I've had in the whole league so far.
Why did you choose the Pro 2? What made you feel that you had a better chance in that than the Pro 4 that we've been running all season long?
I feel like with the Pro 2, I've always been like naturally fast in the Pro 2. Just kind of fits my driving style a little more. And I realized that probably weren't going to be many people driving the Pro 2 and not as much competition. So I thought if I get that early jump, maybe I could beat the Pro 4s instead of getting all caught up in the traffic with Pro 4 there.
Okay, so let's go. When the green flag dropped, did you know that you had to beat the Pro 4s against the other Pro 2s?
Yeah, I did. I knew it was gonna be against the Pro 4s. I knew I had to put in best lap I could every time because I didn't know how close it ended up being at the end. I just knew I had to get every tenth, every hundredth of a second I possibly could.
So a big question is, did you know towards the end of the race that you were going to be a threat to the Pro 4 field? Did you expect them to be able to catch up to you? And what was going through your head right when the Pro 4s caught you?
I knew it was probably gonna be pretty much over once the Pro 4s came. I tried to hold them off for as long as possible. Of course, they have the natural speed over the Pro 2. It was gonna be impossible to hold them off, and at that point, I was going for whatever finish I get, maybe like second or third, and end up hold them off for third.
So what was your overall impressions for the Challenge Cup? How did you feel towards knowing at the end of it you did get third? We are allowed to run the open tune. Did you feel that allowing the open tune helped you out?
Feel like it did a little bit because I was really used to the tune I was running, and like just knew how the truck was gonna react to everything, and was able to just maximize the time as much as I could.
Okay. Connor, is there anything else you'd like to add about the Challenge Cup?
No. He did.
Okay.
You did most of it.
Got it. I would say the Challenge Cup was probably. Was that your best finish of the season? Oh,
I have one.
go for it.
So, in the Pro 4 field for the Challenge Cup, we had about 9. And we had some fast guys. So, who was the biggest, the biggest threat for it?
I'd say honestly, it was you, Connor. You were coming up right behind me. I think you were the first Pro 4 to end up catching me.
Yeah.
Don't get his head too big, Ron. It's okay. Okay, so let's switch over to Summer Series. What is your goal for the Summer Series?
I think my goal for a Summer Series would be to get a win. I think that's one of my goals is to be able to win one. And there's gonna be some fierce competition. Probably need to put in some more practice hours, and I'd love to finish top 3 overall if I could.
Okay. Did you ever get any wins in the Winter Series or whatever we ran last?
The closest I came was second in the first round. I think it was Luke that ended up beating me that round. I had a good battle with Mickey for second.
So, okay, for now, let's go for this. What is your new? So, with the new rule book, as many have read it, what's your impression on the open tune instead of the fixed tune, allowing everybody to get a little more connected with their cars? They can't. It's not just show up and run a tune. You get to make your own tune. You get to test it. You can do whatever you want with it.
I'm actually very happy about that because when everybody is able to run their own tune, they tune it to their best, and we can really see who the best driver is when they could modify the truck to their best driving style.
Got it. So who do you think your biggest threat will be for the 2020 season? Knowing that we will have drivers coming back, we will have Luke coming back, we will have Leighton coming back, you will be back. I will be in the race series. I'll probably turtle myself, but we'll see what happens. There's some more drivers that I'm probably forgetting. All of the big guys, everybody that won a race, they will be back. Who do you think your biggest threat will be for 2020?
I think it's gonna be the same as everybody else. Mitchell DeYoung, he's always up there in the front.
Well, towards the end of the season, he was definitely ahead of a lot of us, but we were all slowly shrinking the gap with it. So we all were getting faster. So do you think towards the middle of the season we'll have Mitchell's skills figured out and we'll be able to compete with him?
I think so. I think we're starting to learn where his strengths and weaknesses are, and just as we get better, more practice, we'll be able to run him down.
Got it. So for the 2020 season, do you have any new sponsors coming on board that would like to step up? Have you emailed anybody? Let anybody know, hey, you came in 4th or 5th in the championship. I don't exactly recall.
I came in 5th.
Got it. So have you emailed anybody? You got any new sponsors coming on board? You got any secret wraps coming in? What's going on?
As of right now, I don't have any new sponsors. Currently unsponsored. So if anybody's watching this, if you want to sponsor me, just hit me up.
Well, you definitely had a great finish in the Pro 2, so that'll definitely be fun this season when we bring in the Pro 2, Pro 4s. It's a little bit more in the season. Do you think you'd run a Pro 2 again, or do you think you'd switch it up?
Oh, I'm definitely run Pro 2 again if we do Challenge Cup.
Got it. So no sponsors. So 2020 season, you'll be running the same body, or do you want to switch it up a little bit?
I'm considering changing my paint scheme. Not sure what I'll change it to yet, but I'm sure I probably will for the Winter Series. Gotta get something new and fresh.
Yep. Everybody's got to change it up a little bit. Got to come out with those fresh things. So what's your favorite thing about the Pro 4 truck in the series that's going on? Do you enjoy the truck, how it handles, or is it more of a would you prefer to run the Pro 2s overall?
Honestly, I think I'd rather run the Pro 2s because I think that's what I'm really good at. Probably my best vehicle in iRacing is the Pro 2. So I'd
Got
definitely
it.
rather run that.
So you definitely would be choosing the Pro 2 if we do a Pro 4, Pro 2 again. So we understand that. Well, hopefully we'll get a bigger turnout for Pro 2. We'll find some guys that'll give you a run. So now let's go.
I'd love that.
So what was your hardest thing about driving the Pro 4? Let's just say, I don't know if you had any big crashes during the season, but let's just say, how was the overall experience throughout the season driving the Pro 4?
I'd say it's definitely a bit of a learning curve because with the Pro 2, it's a lot more throttle control involved in it, and definitely more like rotating the truck and getting good exit. With the Pro 4, it's tougher to rotate it around, and that's something I had to get a little used to.
Got it. So with all that coming down, how do you feel about our longer extended season with 16 rounds compared to the last 6?
What was that again?
We're going to be running 16 rounds this season that are all on Wednesday night. So how does that help you out running 16 rounds instead of 6, knowing that we can, if something bad happens in a one race, it doesn't ruin your chance to the championship?
Yeah, I think the longer season is definitely going to be pretty fun here. I'm pretty excited about that. Definitely I give more time to improve and get better, and 16 more shots at a win there.
Got it. So I'm going to go over the rules a little bit since this will be our first podcast, and you're not the test dummy, but you are here. So a lot of people had a problem with the drop race last season. What's your impression on the drop race?
I definitely enjoy it because, of course, we all have our lives, and not everybody could always make the race, and I don't think it's fair for them to be like docked when they just can't make it.
Yeah, totally understandable. So with the 2020 season is coming up, we're hoping for some new tracks. If we did have to run another track, so let's just say if we do get the new tracks, or if new tracks do not show up, would there be any tracks that you would like to race in? Like just throw it in, like any random track, rallycross, an oval track, figure eight maybe. What track would you feel would be best added to our series?
Well, I think definitely like another short course track. Got to keep it how it is, but for what we have right now in iRacing, I'd definitely love to see a rallycross track. Definitely some very fun ones on iRacing, like Sonoma. It'll be a lot of fun in the Pro 4s, I think.
Got it. Let's see. Hey, Ron, do you want to jump in? You got any questions you got to ask? I'm going through what I have right now.
You want me to jump in for a little bit?
Yeah, jump in for a little bit.
All right, Roland, I'm about to cook you a little bit. Sorry about this. So I believe your first race with the Winter Series was race number 4. Is that correct?
No, my first race was the very first one.
I didn't see you on the list there, huh?
Yeah, it was one that was unbroadcasted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's all. I was looking for you. Did you race 2 and 3? I didn't see you either. Or did you miss
I
those
don't
two?
believe I raced. I believe I missed 2, and I think I made it by 3.
Okay. The only one I could find with footage of you was race number 4. And so I kind of clipped from there, and I've been kind of just putting on small little clips. You kind of had a rough run that race with those Pro 4s, starting in the back of the pack. And kind of you did quite a bit of fighting up. I think you finished in like 5th or 6th place. But when the clips that I grabbed, it was for the Wild Horse race. Breaking down that track, what do you find like most difficult in that track when you like straight off the break when you're coming out with a large pack, and then as the track extends out?
I think definitely at turn 2 is a little rough with the heavy braking. I mean, there's been a couple times I've sent in a little too deep there, and a few times I gotten hit there. It's just a tough corner when you're coming with the pack there.
Yeah, for anyone watching, that I just put on turn 2. That's the hairpin before the jump. And then so as you come down into that jump, I think we have, let's see, I have an in-person view of you. You actually, I think, yeah, you're wrapping around. We're all piled up right now as it plays out. Sorry for 1 second. We're wrapping around the last, I believe that's turn 4 at the very end, fishbowl, and then going into turn 1. So I guess when you're breaking down those tracks and kind of driving through it, where do you really, like, do you try and maybe make your turns on, those hairpins, or sorry, not turns, your passes on those hairpins, or do you really try to get the advantage over someone on the straights?
Say, for me, being an oval guy, I've always known to set your passes up in the corners and pass on the straight, and that's always what I've kind of done. But of course, in short course, it's a little different. I just pass wherever you can, wherever you get the opportunity, you have to make the pass.
Mm-hmm. And then, sorry, caught me off guard there. I was expecting a different answer. You got me though. So yeah, setting up those passes and trying to take in when you can, with the fact that it's a little bit of kind of like a short dirt track mixed with the best way of, I guess, the tightness of racing like a high, like a super speedway, to where you guys are really packed in together. You have to make short corners, and these are pretty big cars. They're not like rallycross cars where you're pretty small, compared to these things take up a lot of space. Do you find yourself maybe doing anything preemptively when coming into a corner, like someone's gonna maybe bounce into you or push you a little bit? Do you like mash on the pedal maybe to lift a little bit and just unhook just to prepare for it, or do you just hope that you don't roll?
I'll always, if I see that, when I think somebody's gonna hit me, maybe I'll give a little bit more room. Because what's the point, like, of getting like flipped over and all that when you just let a guy just get to the inside of you and get back by him? I mean, it's not worth it sometimes to destroy your whole race over like something little like that.
Yeah, it makes sense. Save yourself for the long run, especially if you have, a comp caution in the middle. The first run is really, it's really kind of just finding your bearing, setting yourself up for the second run, and the second run is where you have to save your car for that. The second stage, the first stage, it's all about finding, driving with people, figuring out what their driving styles are, and then really kind of just seeing who you can get around and take advantage of, maybe their mistakes on the field.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for me, when like the comp caution comes, I always try and make every pass I possibly can, like in those last 2 laps for comp caution, because you don't want to get caught behind them in that last run. And but when you do, you just gotta try to get the best restarts you can, and just keep making passes and keep grinding.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that. So now that you're going to have an open tune, what is your preference, really?
I'd say for me, like, I'm not really sure exactly what I'm gonna do for open. I'm gonna try to learn setting up the truck good, and right now I'm just gonna look at some like the setups we have fits, and just kind of see what everything does and go from there.
Okay. Sorry, I was reading a comment in the channel, and it kind of put me off a little bit. But so when coming down to the wire on some of these tracks, we do have Wild Horse and Wild West right now, and I believe we have a little bird telling us that Scranton's going to be coming out. Do you think maybe having a fresh track that no one's really put too much time on when Scranton comes out, and that's going to give you maybe an edge on some people, just with your previous driving experience and competing level in iRacing?
Oh yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be a lot of fun getting like Crandon. With everybody coming in fresh. I mean, we don't know who's gonna come out on top when like Crandon comes out. Like I mean, some of these guys, they've had their setups dialed in for these tracks ever since like the trucks came out, and
Yeah.
definitely puts in a new element with having a new track.
Yeah, especially the first couple runs, or probably the first 2 times you guys hit that track. It's going to be in the best, just kind of a toss up to see who's going to take it, who's going to have a good setup, who put in the time. And there's only so much time you can put in on a setup before you have to hit the track and just test it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, when the Pro 2s came out, yeah, I did like a lot of just setup work and just and just like adjusting the setups I had to work with, and seeing what other people are doing, trying to run down their lap times and everything. With Crandon, might not be the same thing because the short course trucks were new at the time, and with Crandon there won't be as many laps, so it's gonna be for the race like really, really fresh for everybody, and we'll see how it goes.
Crandon is a really long track. Sorry to jump in, but
No,
Crandon
you're good.
is one of the longest tracks in the Lucas off-road circuit that a lot of us do race in. It is one of the most fun tracks. Hopefully, with the developers, I've talked to them. I am the little birdie, but we will go off and say that there is a land rush start. So what that'll be is hopefully we'll start with 18 trucks wide, or is it 12? I think it'll probably be 12 through 18 trucks wide, and we all have to dump into a 6 wide turn. So if you ever watch any videos on Crandon short course, that will be the big track if we can get it to come out soon enough. But so Roland, I wanted to go over a little bit of some of the new rules with you, and I wanted to ask your opinion on them. So now we have changed some things. So
Oh wait, for some reason the sound got like disconnected for me. I couldn't hear what you guys were saying.
oh, you're all good. You heard the Crandon thing though, right?
I'm not sure exactly what's happening here.
Well, a little technical difficulty real quick. So just tell me when you're ready. I don't want to keep it quiet though. So should I go over some
Can you hear
rules?
me? Can you hear me, Roland?
I think
Check,
that's
check,
a no.
check. All right,
So
well, let's talk about the changes, and I'll fill in the gap with you while he reconnects.
Got it.
So, what were you talking about, Zach, with the change?
So what we're doing with the tracks, we're gonna now. So what we had a lot of problems with is on the starts of the race, we had a lot of people jumping the start before the green flag. We're gonna be monitoring that a lot more because we have people. What we're doing, we're trying to push a really later green. We're trying to get people into the track without crashing. It's gonna be a lot more of a. We're focusing on the actual driving aspect of the season. It's not everyone. It's not gonna be a crash at Derby like we had in the early races. So this season we have more people with more track time. So we're focusing with getting everybody ready to go. Everybody's going to have a lot more laps. So the biggest thing, we will not be passing before the green flag. That is the new rule because we've had a whole bunch of crashes and we usually lose 3 or 4 trucks even before the front straight ends.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you guys now.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, I honestly think that's a good change. I prefer, for me, I'm a standing start kind of guy. I think standing starts are fun, but if you guys are gonna be rolling it out, yeah, you don't want to pass during the green flag just because that first turn turns into a Hail Mary for a lot of people.
Yep, we've seen that in the first round. A couple people, dropped out. So for another thing, the track conditions will vary. How do you feel about that? And not one round will be the same. Every single round, the track will change just a little bit. We'll have something new to run with.
I'm very happy about that. It's definitely gonna vary with the setups. I mean, not everybody will be dialed in every week. Maybe we'll get some new winners. Maybe get some new people on the podium. And it should be pretty good.
Got it. Connor, is there any questions you'd like to ask? Sorry about that, you guys.
No, we pretty much did. We did most of them.
I have a quick question for you guys for the league. So with the session states, are you guys going to keep them marbled in, or are you guys going to go for a fresh track after qualifying?
So it's gonna vary now. So the tracks for the practice will now be fresh, like how it's been.
Mm-hmm.
But for qualifying in the main, it will be the same track. It could be used. It could be fresh. I mean, the track, it's still going to be good, but it's not just going to be the same for most of the rounds now. It will now be different.
We'll see who can adapt fastest to the quick change.
And like the tunes and stuff. So it's gonna be more fun, and it might show more speed with like Zach or something. So
now with open tunes and varying track states, are you going to be releasing the track states for the track prior, like the week prior, or are you going to keep it hidden so people tune for whatever they think it is, and then it's randomized so that They have to adjust on the fly.
So it will be random. I mean, so we have the practices the night before,
Yeah.
and the practices will the tracks will probably be the same
It'll
for
mimic the race from before.
the
Aw,
practices.
bummer.
So,
I think throwing a curveball at these guys, having it completely
but yeah,
randomized would be kind of fun.
we will do that stuff for about 3/4 of it.
That's cool.
So most people won't know what it will be.
Nice. So kind of a little bit of mystery. So not everyone is 100% dialed in. They'll have to maybe make a couple setups, for a dry track, wet track, or maybe something that's a little more worn in than they expected.
Night track? Question mark.
I wish.
I know I'm still waiting for iRacing to
They-
release night versions of ours.
They need to put up lights.
Oh, that's so hard.
Yeah, and that's honestly for like broadcasting standpoints. The night tracks are almost a nightmare. The contrast is really high, and it just doesn't run too well.
So we do have a couple of questions from the chat that people are asking you. So Luke thinks he's going to win more races than you this year. How do you feel about that question?
I'm gonna have to disagree with Luke's opinion there. I think I'm gonna end up winning more. I'm gonna put in some practice hours, and hopefully I'll be ahead of that 54.
That 54 definitely eludes you, but the good thing is that with everybody learning the new track right as it goes, it's going to be different for everybody. You can't practice on the same track, so a lot of things for the season will be changed. And I feel like everybody who can adapt the quickest, adaptation will be the biggest key to the 2020 season for everybody to get a chance to win the first race.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I've always been pretty good at adapting on iRacing. Like I've driven a lot of different like vehicles on iRacing and been fast, and it's easy for me to pick up on like driving something new.
So let's just say this. We're going to go back to the very first race. What were you expecting out of the series? Were you expecting it to be a big series that we could take off of, or were you expecting it not to last a while? And how do you feel that so far, how far it's come?
At first I was just expecting to be like kind of a small league. I wasn't sure how long it would last. I thought maybe it wouldn't last that long at all. But I'm glad. But once we got going, I kind of realized that it's probably gonna be an actual thing. We have like actual sponsors, and I'm glad we're here talking about the summer series.
Oh, yeah. Summer series will be a lot bigger. We do have some new sponsors. Connor, do you have the sponsors list you'd like to shout out right now, or is that something?
I can name a few. So I'll name the new ones. So for the summer, we have the super clean.
Super clean.
We have Bomber, who will be doing some let's see what they're giving. I don't have that with me, so I can't say what they have.
I thought Bomber was giving out a free pair of glasses to the winner.
Oh yeah, so that was that. Then what else do we have?
We're a little unprepared. This is our first podcast. Sorry about this, you guys.
Yeah, but we
First
do
for
have
everything.
for the,
Oh, yeah.
for the summer we have 7 sponsors, and first place will more than likely get $750. So it's a good deal and you pay none, so it's pretty fun.
So I pulled up our sponsor list that we have for this season. This season we have AIM, digital dashes and sports data. They'll be coming. They're continuing their support. CDZ Apparel is continuing their support with us. One of our new sponsors is Super Clean. They're going to be giving out a whole bunch of products to our end of the series winner and top 3. And at the main event, they'll giving out tons of gift cards and all that. So we have Sparko continuing their support with us. We have Bomber Floating Eyewear. Floating eyewear, you guys. Remember this. You have a jet ski, you go in the water, you like to surf.
They're amazing.
These glasses, they will float. It's a lot of glasses sink, and that kind of sucks. CBR Performance Products, they're continuing their support this season. And, a big sponsor, K&N Performance Filters. They're be giving $500 cash and $1,000 worth of gift cards and certificates for their products. So that's our big sponsor this season. and we're very thankful for them coming on board with us this season. We're able to do a lot more. We're about to have another big prize pool, so that's pretty much
All right. Well,
sponsor.
to cap it off, I pulled one last clip, and it's of Trenton Briley doing a amazing nosedive through the whoops at the back end of Wild Horse. You guys want to see it?
Let's see
Yeah.
it.
So let's analyze this real fast. I thought it was really funny that he was able to recover it, and it's pretty awesome. So here we go. So he's coming in. It looks like a clean entry,
Okay.
and then it all goes wrong. I mean, he's able to recover it, but he goes nose first and barely lands it.
Yeah.
And if
I'm
we
still
watch,
waiting for our turtle kit, our turtle production studio, all the turtles of the 2020 season.
yeah, and
Oh, looks like we're on board with me right now.
yeah, you
Oh.
have a good view of it too. So I'm just gonna roll with you one more time, as it goes through. But you see it pretty well. So it didn't really look too much. You know, he did stare at the ground, but when we go
What
through,
race was this? Oh,
this is
okay.
race number 4.
Oh, okay. Was this when before or after I turtled myself?
I think this was after you turtled.
Okay. That's pretty much every race.
So it gets a little rough there.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
And then if you watch on your right, there's Trenton in front, and just kicks it over.
That was crazy.
Yeah, those whoops are a beast to go through, and you guys do a great job.
Oh, I do have one more question for you. Since you are on VR, am I right?
Yep.
How does the VR compare to the screen? I know you ran both. Why do you prefer the VR system?
I definitely prefer it. Gives you a lot better like depth and what's going on around you. I mean, it's so awesome when you like look to your left and you like see somebody next to you. I mean, like just gives you a lot more like perception of like things going on. I mean, I feel pretty comfortable when I go like 3 wide on like VR. You see everything that's happening.
Very cool. So that was my final question. I don't know if anybody else has anything else to add, but
I think
I
a last
think
word
that's
from
it.
our official host, Connor. You want to close it out?
Okay, so that was podcast number 1. The next one will be next Tuesday at the same time, and we're not sure on who the driver will be yet, but we will post that in the next day or two. So, and yeah.
Awesome.
we do have shirts available if anybody would like to support the series.
Yeah,
Please
and
buy a
we
shirt.
have the shirts for sale. They are on the website at iRacingShortCourse.com. They're for $15, and yeah.
All
That's a
proceeds
really
go to
good
help the
price.
series.
And all proceeds go to the race series and it will be for the purses, so the racers can get some cash.
That's awesome.
And a big shout out everybody to our stream host, Death by Moose Media. Thank you for continuing our support for the 2020 season. Without you, we would just have an online racing series that no one could get to watch. It's a big thing to help our sponsors and all that with your help.
Yeah, no. It's thank you. It's been fun. I know we had a little bit of a bouncy start, but I think we'll smooth that all out, and we're gonna hit the summer series really hard. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm excited for some of the stuff coming down the road. A little bit of selfless promotion for anyone out there that is curious and wants to keep up with any more racing action. Once again, we will have Wednesday nights at 7:30, which is going to be the iRacing short course when that starts up. And then on Sundays, we have a back-to-back feature, which is the ISRC and the core racing series. Zach and both Connor racing that series. So if you want to watch them race and support them, come check it out. We do also have another podcast coming up on Thursday, so don't forget to tune into that. But we have a lot of content coming and more content rolling out as the year progresses. So if you guys want to be a part of it and you want to keep up and stay in tune, it's just going to get better. So these guys are putting in a great effort and really building the league up. After the summer series, the next season is going to be amazing. So just stay tuned, watch us progress, and watch these drivers. Come support the drivers. So I hope everyone has a good night, and thank you for coming on, and thank you for letting me do this.
Thank you.
And our
thank you very
first
much.
race is on the 1st of the next month, so yeah, it's gonna be a fun race. We expect
Fun,
like 15 of the racers, so it will be fun. It's at Wild Horse, so yep, it will be at 7 p.m. and yeah.
Well, you heard
Thank
it
you.
there, guys. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys later.
All right, see you guys.